So, Ryan Spann versus Nikita Krylov finally happened after Nikita Krylov had to withdraw with an undisclosed injury last, like a few weeks ago.
It was
And it was
sickness.
a
Yeah.
wild fight, dude. It was a very wild fight.
Yeah, I mean, started out immediately on the wrong foot for Krylov,
He walked
but
right into a straight shot,
yeah.
got his head dragged back pretty significantly, and then immediately turned it into a grappling match. Both guys had multiple opportunities to disengage. There were trading submission attempts left and right, and yet neither guy really seemed too concerned with the submissions.
Well, and I would say Ryan Spann was generally getting the worst of the grappling exchanges, but continued to engage, even
Yeah.
though he had the ability to stop.
And coming into that fight, we both had the assumption that Ryan Spann was generally going to be better on the feet and Nikita Krylov was generally going to be better on the ground. Pretty much only because of their last few performances where Ryan Spann knocked out Dominic Reyes and Nikita Krylov almost got knocked out against Volkan Oezdemir and then ended up out grappling him until like a late third round submission. And so we were both confused as to why Ryan Spann continuously tried to re engage in the grappling, especially when they were trading submissions back and forth. And then we had a sequence, we had the final sequence where Nikita Krylov was on Ryan Spann's back with neither of his hooks in. Ryan Spann shucks him off of him. Nikita Krylov falls onto his back with his legs splayed open. And then Ryan Spann just decides to jump directly into his guard with one arm in first and just triangles himself immediately. And I don't know about you, but this takes the cake for one of the dumbest fight IQ moments in a fight that I've ever like had the dishonorable pleasure to
It was
witness live.
absurd. He like jumped into Krylov's guard, like neck first. Like he didn't put it around his torso. He like put it right around his neck, and
with
he had
one
it
with one arm
perfectly
through.
positioned, blocking off one of his carotids. It was absurd.
Right. Like previous winner for worst fight IQ moment, shout out to our boy Eric Gonzalez, stepping in with a wild left hook that had no chance of hitting home and staying there, allowing himself to get timed with a perfect counter shot from Jim Miller. But that wasn't as bad as this, and Eric Gonzalez was rocked from huge shots he had eaten previously in the fight.
No,
Ryan
yeah,
Spann had
Ryan
not
Spann
been
was
hit at
completely
all.
fine. He wasn't exhausted. It was around early, like relatively early in the fight, round
Right.
one. You know, he wasn't really even didn't even look that tired. He just chased Nikita Krylov down because he saw him on the ground in the
And
dumbest way I've ever seen.
And now, like, after such a horrible decision from Ryan Spann, it really throws into question some other questionable moments from him in the past that we've seen. Specifically, his fight against Johnny Walker when he had Walker hurt on the feet, decides to go in for a takedown and just hold his head there against the cage, and Johnny Walker knocks him out with elbows to the side of the head. That was a
That
horrible
was pretty
decision.
bad.
He did get a sweet guillotine over Ion Kutalaba. Can't complain about that. Um, what did
No,
he?
I mean but even when he wins though, it's like some questionable stuff happening. Like against Anthony Smith when he like carries him across the cage for no reason, like in an attempt to take him down or something.
Yeah, well, he did lose to Anthony Smith, but he got beat up pretty bad against Anthony
Yeah, yeah, he
Smith.
lost that one.
But like he has also kind of had like a brainless moment when Michael Bisping asked him a question during his post-fight interview, and he just walks
Oh
away.
yeah.
It's like, what is going on there? And then his win over Dominic Reyes. What apparently that was the
I don't
first
train,
time.
guys.
Apparently that was the first time he trained for a fight, and then we got this little gem. Let's
There's no way that's true either. He's
see if we
just
can
trying to
pipe
make
his
himself
audio
look
through.
badass in the dumbest way possible.
Right,
He would
that
like
he hasn't
rather think
trained,
people are. He would rather people think he's stupid than
been
people think
lazy.
that he trained. That he
Oh
has
yeah,
to train for fights.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that he trained and he just lost, like even though he was trying and he
Yeah,
failed through his
exactly.
training. And then we got this little gem. Let's see if the audio can pick it up.
We back at the gym Monday. Look, I want top five, and I don't want four, three, or two.
Dude, that fucking sounds like a stand-up thing. Why are you wasting? So first of all, he wasted his moment in his last fight with Bisping by walking away from him while he still was asking him questions. How many times do we see fighters want the mic and then interviewer walks away because they have to cut it short. He had that opportunity and he just is like, nah, I'm done. Now he takes this opportunity in a sold out arena. I think this is in Madison Square Garden, right? With Dominic Reyes? Or was it in
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
because
against Dominic Reyes. I
this
think
was
it
the
was. Yeah, I think
Adesanya
it was
Pereira
against Jamie.
card. This was the Adesanya Pereira card.
Yeah.
And he squanders a call out in one of the most cryptic and stupid ways I can think of.
I want the top 5, but not the 4th, 3rd, or 2nd. So, wait, you just want 5 or 1?
So
Why? Like, what is
apparently, after the
happening?
fact, it comes out he was trying to call out Anthony Smith in a roundabout way, but he made like a vow of silence to never say Anthony Smith's name. And so, since he didn't want to say his name, that was the only way he could think of to narrow it down. But it only
But he
narrows it
still
down to
included
2
number
people.
1. He still included number 1. It still wasn't a specific call out.
Unless he was ranked number 5, but maybe it was. So this was light heavyweight. Maybe number 5 was booked already because I think 5 was like Jan Blachowicz and he was fighting Magomed Ankalaev. Or maybe Magomed Ankalaev was 5 or 1 and then he was fighting Blachowicz for the middleweight. Dude, I don't fucking know. I don't know what was going on. Maybe Glover was 1 and he was fighting Yuri next. Was that the case? And Anthony was number 5? And then he's like, I don't want 4, 3, or 2. And 1 is booked. And then Anthony Smith is the only one that like remains.
I think Anthony Smith was number 5. Number 1 was booked, but he was wanted. I think he was just saying, I want to fight either Anthony Smith or a number 1 contender.
Right. Dude, worst fight. Some of the worst fight IQ just throughout all of his fights. Maybe he's right, man. Maybe he just like only does well when he trains. He said in another interview he's the best 205er when his mind is right.
Maybe train your post-fight interview too a little bit. You fucking idiot.
Just train your mind. Dude, I don't know. The guy's just like such a wild card, man. Like he gets broken against guys like Anthony Smith, just making horrible decisions against Nikita Krylov, who's like a proven finisher in any area of the fight. Horrible decisions against Johnny Walker too, like hurting him and then going for a takedown, leaving your head at his waist, like just undefended at all. All in all, like one of the funniest fighters to just like watch inside the cage and outside.
Well, he also just doesn't like. I think he's, to be honest, overperforming for his potential a little bit. Like I don't see him in the same league as Rakic, Jan Blachowicz, Magomed Ankalaev, Yuri Prohaska, or Jamal Hill.
Right. And it is kind of just another thing added on to the light heavyweight division, which is just at this point just a comedy of errors.
I know,
with how fucked it is.
Maybe has a good shot against Rakic. I don't really think so. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Man. Yeah, that guy is a funny guy though.
Yeah, funny to watch.
All right.
When it's striking, he is.